Hi. So this is going to be a different kind of vlog actually. I'm going to do. This is regards to something which I just saw in YouTube just a few minutes ago, and it's something really compelling. It's something that will really, I mean, it blew my mind. So I hope that it will blow your mind, and it's something that I think we need to really start to look at it in a very serious manner, and all the different universities and archaeological societies as well as engineering people needs to actually look at it in a very serious manner, because this can really uh, change a lot of things, the way we look and the way we kind of understand how our society has been and how communities work. So basically, what is this big thing about them about to share is there was this video that I saw in YouTube that states about this guy is I think his name is PraveenMohan. He's an Indian guy. He goes at different of these ancient temples around India and even in Sri Lanka, and he kinds of like gives like a tour, but not just a tour, but he gives a lot of information regarding the structure, the cultural, and inclusive of the mythology around it as well. So there is one temple that he visited somewhere in I think it's in India, and according to what I've seen, this was actually the temple that was actually not temple, like a fortress, a castle that was built by the uncle of Lord Krishna, the Hindu god. Of course, as you know, that this uncle of Krishna in the mythological story is that he wanted to kill all the firstborn, and so he wanted to kill Lord Krishna as he was even being born. So every time when Lord Krishna's mother gave birth to a baby, he always take the baby and he will kill the baby. All right, it's because of some sort of a prophecy some of his soothsayers has told him. So because of that, he keeps on killing all the newborn babies. So anyway, the thing about the structure was, which was so amazing, is that this castle was made in such a way where there is like he was actually telling this guy, his name is Praveen Mohan, and he was telling that there's in one part of the stones are quite different compared to all the different stones in a wall in a temple, and it was marked by like a circle. So he was saying that there's something different with those stones, because it's not just one. This kind of special kind of stone is found on all the different parts or in the wall of the temple. And according to this guy, he says that this is a very special stone where he actually, when he tapped on the different stones, just to prove a point, where when you tap on concrete based stone, it will come out different sound, but when he tapped on this specialized marked stone, it made a bit of a sound, like it was like a hollow sound. And he said that this is what they call as a star, like a sound circle. According to this guy, now believe it or not, this guy goes in very deep, all right? He says that this is there are several marked stones found in these temple walls. Some of them are high above, some of them are below, but each of these specialized stones has a mark on it, like a circle mark. So now, when he was saying that this was actually built, that temple, that castle and all that were built tens and thousands of years ago. The thing is, how could ancient Hindus build castles and temples at great height using a pulley system? It doesn't make sense. They had to first find huge granite stones and be able to actually stack the stones, carve them up, and the kind of technology we believe that is, conspiracy theorists will be saying that, oh, they're using alien technology or whatever, but This guy, PraveenMohan, has uncovered a very important truth which was really mind blowing. Okay, because I did my own research after that as well. He was saying about a technology that the Hindus were using. They call it acoustic levitation. Acoustic levitation means using the power of sound, you are having the ability to levitate an object. It could be a rock, it could be materials, it could be animate objects, it could be inanimate objects, it could be so many things that can be lifted. And so when I was thinking, okay, at first, when I first saw it, my initial reaction is that maybe it's just a hollow stone, that's why it made that kind of sound. But then when he was explaining of how they were able to use this kind of stone, and they were using some sort of unknown technology to be able to lift huge slabs of stones up. Now this is when I was thinking, okay, what is this? This is really fiction. I don't know how the hell, how could you use sound to lift objects up, right? Believe it or not, after I saw the video, I was like compelled. I was thinking I want to do a little bit of fact check myself. I want to find out whether something called acoustic levitation even exists, first and foremost. And believe you me, acoustic levitation is a real thing. This is the mind-blowing thing. There was another video made by a totally different physicist. Okay, there are many guys who are physicists and scientific guys and engineering guys who built this kind of device. It's an acoustic, it looks like a speaker microphone thingy, and this device was actually created and engineered by the University of Bristol. So they kind of like borrowed it from this University of Bristol, and they were saying that using the power of sound, they're able to actually use this device and actually levitate objects. And they actually were doing on a DIY basis. That means they built it on their own. They have all the specifications, and they built it. It's a small tiny device like that. I had like microphone, I mean like microphone speakers and all that. And using a certain kind of frequency, they were able to actually levitate a small tiny pebble. And they were even able to levitate liquid, like a liquid paper, the liquid paper, Tipex kind of liquid, ink. And they were able to also levitate small tiny beads, as well as even ink, like printer ink, right? They were able to actually levitate. I mean, it was floating using just the sound. And the sound is made in such a way where we cannot actually hear it, because it's in such a high decibel. A human hearing would not be able to actually listen to it. But this is a real technology. This is the mind-blowing thing which I got shocked. Holy cow, I was shocked. Holy cow, these things exist. It's not fiction. It's really not science fiction. It's not CGI or computer imagery fakery or whatever. It's not even conspiracy theory anymore. It's actual truth, scientific truth. So when this guy, PraveenMohan, was actually mentioning about this technology called acoustic levitation, it was a real technology, something that somehow was forgotten many ages ago, and now our current scientists are beginning to recover it back. Now, this is an amazing kind of breakthrough. Engineers, physicists, and scientists has to look at this in a very I would say have to look at it and do many types of research regarding this, because the application for this is just boundless. There's boundless kind of application. It's just amazing. You can lift, you can create lift, propulsion and lift, not even using magnetic waves, not using any it's only using sound waves, acoustic sound wave. And using sound wave, you are able to actually levitate an object, and not just rocks. So that's the best thing. You can levitate all kinds of manner. You can levitate ink, you can levitate beads, probably even food items like apples and orange can be levitated. So the application to this is amazing, and I think we have to really focus on this, doing more research upon this. This can be really future tech. But the biggest question now it comes to me is that how how is it that these ancient guys in ancient Hindu temples were able to figure out this far in, super far in technology using the power of sound to lift objects? It's bonkers. It's really bonkers. It's something to really think. And this video is something for all the university students, all the engineering students, and all the physicists back there. You guys got to really look onto this in a serious manner, because there is so many things, so many mysteries across different cultures in ancient traditions that need to be uncovered. And once we uncover all of this, there is going to be a lot of things that we have been missing out for centuries. So many technologies that were already being used tens and thousands of years ago has been lost. I mean, if you look at it, we are in the year 2021, and cars and motorbikes are still running on fossil fuel, still running on tires. We're still down on the ground. Yes, we have planes, but planes are getting missing, planes are getting crashed, planes are falling down into the sea. People are dying because of that as well. I'm beginning to think that, like what he was saying, there was a comparison where he went to this, like I said the Lord Krishna's uncle's castle, King Kamsa. He built this fortress. Now, according to this guy PraveenMohan, he said that this is a fortress that were built many years ago, and of course, during the time of Lord Krishna, after that, it was crumbled, it was destroyed, and they were rebuilt. So it was destroyed and rebuilt and destroyed and rebuilt over different time periods. When the Mughal came, then they destroyed it, and then when they came, the Portuguese came, the British came, they destroyed it and rebuilt it. So it was so many different people who came in, conquered, destroyed it, and rebuilt it up over and over again. So he was actually proving a point where there were certain parts of the wall, certain parts of the bricks and all that, you can actually see the difference between the different types of bricks and rocks that were used. So he was doing a comparison to say that, okay, this was the reconstruction, and these are the bricks they used during the reconstruction of this place. Meanwhile, there was a few of it which is the original as how it was way back then, when during the time of Lord Krishna was still was still being born, during the Lord King Kamsa. So he proved that this was a different kind of material, the way they built, the technology behind creating these sort of sculptures and stuff. It really it's a mind-blowing thing. So he was saying that there is devolution. Instead of creating evolution where we go to the next level, we are actually de-evolution. That means we are going backwards. We're getting more dumber over time. And it's like we are uncovering the ancient times. They are super high in technology involved in things that happened tens and thousands of years ago, which doesn't make sense, isn't it? If it's something that is been discovered tens and thousands of years ago, don't you think we are supposed to be like forward? We're supposed to be so more advanced compared to what was happening back then. How is it that those people back then were far more advanced than what we have with our current technology? It's a big shame, if you ask me, to all our scientists, to all the entire scientific community. It's a big shame to all of you guys. I think it's time for us to uncover real secrets of our community and our culture. Ancient traditions need to be reignited. We need to study all the old items and see old books and the old scriptures to uncover certain kind of powerful technology that we can apply today, and we can usher into a greater future. This is my thinking, and it begs for more research upon all this. And it's a mind-blowing, actually. Really, it's a mind-blowing thing for me to know about this acoustic levitation. I never knew all this existed, and now it's like using this. There are a lot of these in India, a lot of Swami people are doing this levitation. Now, at one point in time, I really didn't believe all this nonsense they were trying to, I don't believe these people can just levitate. But now, judging with this current real technology that is available called acoustic levitation, it probably could be true that whatever we say om and all that, even the word om, it's kind of like it's beginning to be proven by NASA, because they used a certain kind of specialized microphone system. They were able to somehow convert the sound of our sun, and the sound that was produced by the sun seems to be very similar, like to a person who is meditating going om. It's kind of weird, because if you go to YouTube, you can actually, these videos are actually available in YouTube, and you can find it, the sound of how the sun really sounds like. It's very similar to how a monk meditates and he goes om. So I believe that there is a huge amount of technology, a huge amount of potential that's just waiting to be grabbed uh, in the usage of power of sound. It's something that I don't think a lot of people have ever thought about, and it's time for us to really think about that. Trying to use the power of sound for our current day in day out things. Okay, instead of using electricity in our lift system, for instance, or our escalator systems, why not use a technology of sound? We don't need to really use that much of electricity. We can actually levitate using power of sound, or even using levitate using the power of magnetism as well. So there's a lot of technologies that were used in the ancient past, and it's time for us to start to look at it in a very serious manner and use it for our own daily lives. Okay, so I hope that you'll be able to be inspired as I was, and I hope that you also do your own fact check yourselves. And you can see that I'm not bullshitting. This is not a bullshit. This is real, based on what I've seen with my own two eyes. This is a real technology, and I think that the scientific community, the engineering community, need to really, really sit down and look at it in a very serious manner and try to produce new, innovative inventions that can help all of us for tomorrow. Peace.